Hey folks, Yellow Pajamas here with another Civilization 6 video. It's December 2020 if you need some context for how current this content is. So we'll be playing with Heroes and Legends mode on, and we're going to call this segment Big Brain Deity AI. So I am going to show you how to keep an aggressive deity level AI occupied for 200 turns with just 3 ancient era units. That's right. So let's get into it. Did receive some useful feedback on my channel recently that people would like to be able to see more of the policy cards that I am selecting if I am cutting through footage. And I do take that feedback seriously, and to the extent that it's relevant, I will make sure to focus on that for videos on now on. For the particular concept that we are discussing in this video, you can do it with pretty much any policy cards that you want. So I won't be focusing on that aspect for this particular video. Now, it's a little bit of an exaggeration for me to say that this strategy took 200 turns, because as you can see here, I am cutting in on turn 87. So we have Persia to the west. I am playing for Simone Bolivar of Gran Colombia in the east. In between us, we have the Nazca city-state. Now, it is fitting that the AI that we're dealing with is Persia in this case, because the little gem of an AI strategy footage that we are going to show is really a bit reminiscent of the old movie 300, if you have seen that, based upon the graphic novel by Frank Miller and starring Gerard Butler. Now, of course, Persia in Civ 6 is led by Cyrus and not Xerxes, but hey, the battle itself here is a bit reminiscent. So what you can see here is that Persia is getting ready to invade Nazca. Now you can also see that we are not at war with Persia. And actually, as of this time, Persia is not at war with Nazca, or if they are, they maybe had just declared war. So what we're going to show here is how to capitalize on the AI's tendency to tunnel vision on one goal. So as you can see, Nazca has walls and they have one crossbowman, while Persia has an immortal, a warrior, two crossbowmen, and two catapults. However, Nazca does have something that is very important in terms of at least the history of warfare, and that is a significant terrain advantage. As you can see, there is only one way in and one way out. There's two attack points to the south and one attack point to the north from which an adjacent melee unit could actually get in and take the city. So initially, when I started doing this, I figured that the AI would eventually just get sick of my shenanigans and would declare war on me. But as it sort of dragged on, they just sort of ran around in circles around the blockade I had set up. As you can see, that's initially an archer, a spearman, and Hercules, along with the Grand Colombian sort of the commandantes, which are basically like great generals. However, the longer this carried on, the more it seemed sort of apparent that they weren't going to declare war on me. So now you can see that we're on turn 104. Hercules spent the remainder of his life after using up all his charges just standing around guarding the city-state by Hercules. And yeah, so 104, and we'll speed up from there. So you might notice here I get my Hercules back immediately, and that's because I have a crap ton of faith because I tried to go for a religion, but then got beat out before I could get to a great prophet. So I have all sorts of faith that I'm not using for anything other than to resummon Hercules. So here we are again, some 30 odd turns later, and noticeably Persia has not really moved much in their advance. Some of their troops have upgraded a little, and I guess I changed to a horseman, a spearman, and an archer. And they are still approximately where they were. They did manage to raise some of the outer farmlands, but they've made about 10% progress in the wall in 30 turns. So I guess if you are Nazca, then you will get your big beautiful wall and Gran Colombia will pay for it. So here we are again, some 20 odd turns later, around turn 154, and our ally India to the north has screwed things up because they were unaware of the plan, so they took suzerain status from us, so we had to move our wall out a little farther, but it's getting a little bit crowded up in here. But you can see Cyrus has better units, but he's even farther out from taking the city now. Although he does have the walls quite a bit down, but he's been at this now for over 50 turns. But alas, our fun does eventually need to come to an end. So 195 turns into the game, Cyrus finally succeeds in his goal. And not to anthropomorphize the AI too much as if it's Agent Smith or something, but I don't typically I don't see the AI raise city states a lot. They usually keep them, but uh, apparently in this case they did not want to keep it. They just burned Nazca to the ground after all of that. So fun times. So that is it for this video. If you liked this content, please consider liking and subscribing. But hoping you enjoyed sharing this fun little way to make a makeshift blockade to distract the Big Brain Deity AI. So, you pajamas out, and thank you folks for watching.